Welcome back. This is part 2 of the crochet along baby security blanket. So we're going to go ahead and start making the parts for the elephant. So we'll begin with the trunk. So go ahead and take your yarn and make a magic circle with 6 stitches. 1, oops, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. For the second row, you're going to do a single crochet in each of the front loops only. So just get into the front loops and do 1 single crochet in each stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so for the next row, you're going to do 1 single crochet in each of these stitches, but once you go into the stitch, you look behind here and you can see the back loops that are left over from the row we just did. So you're going to want to get into the stitch and then reach back and get that back loop too, and do a single crochet. So you go into your next stitch and then you look at the back and you can see this back loop right here that was left over, so you want to get behind that too. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now that you have that row done, go ahead and roll your trunk right side out. You can go ahead and tighten up that center loop. your center circle here. Okay. Row 4 is 1 row even. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Row 5 is going to be 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the 3rd stitch. So 1, 2, and then 2 into this 3rd stitch. 1, 2, and then repeat. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and 2 into this last stitch. And now you have 8 stitches around. Row 6 is going to be 1 single crochet in the first 4 stitches and then 1/2 double crochet in the remaining 4 stitches. So do 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochet, and 4 single crochet. And now we're going to do 1/2 double crochet in the remaining 4 stitches. So 1/2 double, 2 half double, 3 half double, and then this 4th stitch, this last stitch here, gets the other 1/2 double crochet. Row 7 is going to be exactly what we just did. We're going to do a single crochet in the first 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to do a 1/2 double crochet in the remaining 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Row 8 is going to be 1 single crochet in the first 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to go ahead and do 2 half double crochets in this next stitch. So do 1, 2, and then after that we're going to do 1/2 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, so just 1 in each of these stitches. So 1 in this stitch, 1 in the next stitch. And now for our last stitch, we're going to go ahead and do 2 half double crochets. One, 2. So now you have 10 stitches around. Row 9 is going to be 1 row even, so 1 single crochet in each stitch around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we're going to go ahead and do a slip stitch into the next stitch, and then cut yourself a yarn tail and finish off. And that is the trunk, so you can go ahead and set that aside for now. And let's go ahead and do the ears. So go ahead and make yourself a magic circle with 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we're going to do 2 single crochets in each of the 6 stitches. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, for row 3, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then 2 into the next stitch. So 1 and then 2. We're just going to repeat this all the way around. So 1 and then 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and then 2, 1 and then 2 in this last stitch. And you should now have 18 stitches around. Row 4 is 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the third stitch. So 1 single crochet in the first, 1 single crochet in the second, 2 single crochet into the third. And then just repeat this all the way around. So 1, 2, and then 2 into the third, 1, 2, 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 and 2 into this last stitch. And you now have 24 stitches around. Row 5 is 1 single crochet in the first 3 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the 4th stitch. So you're going to do 1 single crochet in the first, 1 single crochet into the second, 1 single crochet into the third, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets into this 4th stitch. We're just going to repeat this around. 1, 2, 3, and 2 into the 4th. 1, 2, 3, and 2 into the 4th. 1, 2, 3, and 2 into the 4th. 1, 2, 3, 2 into the 4th stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 into this last stitch. And that will give you 30 stitches around. Okay, so now we're going on to row 6, which is the final row of the ear. So in the first 4 stitches, we're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. In the 5th stitch, we're going to do 2 single crochet. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet into the 5th stitch. Now we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 14 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. And then you're going to do 2 single crochet into the 15th stitch. So 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet. Now we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for our remaining 6 stitches, we're just going to do slip stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that is 1 ear. So go ahead and cut yourself a yarn tail and finish off. And we need 2 ears, and I'm just going to go ahead and make the other ear with you. So magic circle with 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Row 2 is 2 single crochet in each stitch. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Row 3 is 1 single crochet in the first stitch and 2 into the second stitch. So 1 single crochet and then 2 single crochet, and just repeat that all the way around. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 1, and then 2, 1, and then 2, 1, and 2, 1, and then 2. And you now have 18 stitches around. Row 4 is 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the third stitch, and repeat this around. So 1, 2, and then 2 into the third. 1, 2, and then 2 into the third. 1, 2, 2 into the third. 1, 2, 2 into the third. 1, 2, 2 into the third. You now have 24 stitches around. Row 5 is 1 in the first 3 and 2 into the fourth. So 1 single crochet in the first, 1 single crochet in the second, 1 single crochet into the third stitch, and then 2 single crochets into the fourth stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then 2. 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 1, 2, 3, and then 2 in this last stitch. which gives you a total of 30 stitches around. Row 6 is 1 single crochet in the first 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 single crochet into the 5th stitch. 1, 2. And then 1 single crochet in the next 14 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 2 into the 15th stitch, 1, 2, 1 into the next 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 6 slip stitches. So slip stitch into the next 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there is your second ear. So go ahead and cut yourself a yarn tail and pull it through to finish off. The last 2 things that we need to make are 2 arms. So with the same color yarn we've been using, go ahead and make a magic circle with 6 stitches. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, then we're going to do for row 2, 2 single crochet in each stitch around. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Row 3 is going to be 1 single crochet in the first stitch and 2 into the second stitch. So 1 and then 2, and then just repeat this all the way around. 1 and then 2, 1 and then 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and then 2 in this last stitch. And you now have 18 stitches around. Row 4 is 1 row even, so 1 single crochet in each of the 18 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Row 5 is a row even as well, so just 1 single crochet in each of the 18 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and this last stitch is 18. For row 6, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then we're going to crochet 2 together. So 1 in the first, and then 2 together. 1 and then 2 together. 1 and then 2 together. 1 and then 2 together. 1, 2 together. 1, and then these last 2 together. And that brings us back to 12. And go ahead and pull up your loop so you don't lose it. Go ahead and tighten that if you need to. And we're just going to go ahead and cut it a little shorter to get it out of our way. And then take your thicker white yarn thread. Cut yourself. Take your yarn needle. Go ahead and put it in there. And bring it down so that it's in there evenly. Now we're going to add the toenails to our work here. And we're going to add them about right here. So between rows, this is row 1, 2, 3. So we'll pop out right in between 2 and 3 and go into row in between rows 3 and 4. So we'll go over about 4 stitches. So go over about 4 stitches and then go down and pop through. And go ahead and pull, but leave yourself some yarn left to hold on to so it doesn't slip back through. And then just go directly up into the next stitch above that. So you can see your toenail is pretty much wrapped around row 3 here. And then just go ahead and skip a stitch and pop through and pull, and then just go back up in and then skip a stitch again, go in, and then pop up a stitch. So I like to just put 3. If you want to put more, you can. Just make sure you keep them like evenly spaced out here. But once you got that done, You can go ahead and flip your work. Take your yarn ends here and lightly tie them into a knot. You don't want to tie it too tight because it'll mess the toenails up. Once you got that tied off there, you can go ahead and cut that loose. So you have your little toenails in there now. So go ahead and replace your marker. And now for row 7, it's going to be 1 row even. So 1 single crochet in each of the 12 stitches around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Row 8 is 1 row even again. So 1 single crochet in each of the 12 stitches around. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Row 9 is going to be 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then crochet 2 together. So 1 and then 2 together, 1 and then 2 together, 1 and then 2 together, 1 and these last 2 together. So now you have 8 stitches. Row 10 is working 1 row even, so 1 single crochet in each of the 8 stitches around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's the end of row 10. Row 11 is the same, 1 row even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That was the end of row 11. Row 12 is 1 row even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. Okay, that was the end of row 12. Row 13 is going to be our last row of working 1 row even. So go ahead and do one more row even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that's the end of row 13. Go ahead and pull up on your yarn because we need to put some stuffing in this paw. So go ahead and get a little bit of stuffing, and you can take the back end of a different yarn hook or your finger if your finger's small enough and push it down in there. You don't need a lot of yarn or a lot of stuffing, just enough to give the paw a little bit of shape here. So that's good enough for me. So for row 14, you're going to do 1 single crochet in this first stitch here, and then you're going to squeeze the top. We're going to go ahead and seal this arm here. So you're going to go ahead and squeeze your top together, and then you're just going to single crochet the top of your arm closed. Okay, so then go ahead and cut yourself a yarn tail. And that is one of your arms done. So let's go ahead and make our last arm here. I'm going to start with a magic circle with 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to go ahead and do 2 single crochet in each of these 6 stitches. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Row 3 is 1 single crochet in the first stitch and 2 in the second. So 1, and then 2, 1, and then 2, 1, oops, 1, and then 2, 1, and then 2, 1, and then 2, 1, and then 2. So that's the end of row 3, and you now have 18 stitches. The next 2 stitches, rows 4 and 5, are working even, so 1 single crochet in each of the 18 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And then one more row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And that was the end of row 5. Row 6 is 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then 2 together. So 1 and then 2 together. 1, 2 together. 1, 2 together. 1, 2 together. 1, and these last 2 together, which brings you down to 12 stitches around, and we're going to add the toenails. So go over 4 stitches. So that's about right here. And it's going to be in between rows 2 and 3 and 3 and 4. So you're going to come through right here in between 2 and 3, and then you're going to go directly up in between 3 and 4. And give it an even space in between the toenails. Like such. Go ahead and tie the yarn tails together, not too tightly. And go ahead and replace your marker here. And we'll move on to row 7. The next 2 rows, 7 and 8, are working 1 row even, so 1 single crochet in each of the 12 stitches around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And that's the end of verse 7. So we got to do row 8, which is 1 row even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And that's the end of row 8. Row 9 is 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then 2 together. So 1 and then 2 together, 1 and then 2 together, 1, 2 together, 1, and then these last 2 together. This gives you 8 stitches around. So the next 4 rows, rows 10 to 13, are working 1 row even, 1 single crochet in each of the 8 stitches around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's row 10. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's the end of row 11. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the end of row 12. So I got 1 more row even here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then pull up your yarn and stuff that paw. So remember, you just need a little bit of stuffing. You can compare it to your other paw here. Okay. So for row 14, go ahead and do a single crochet into the next stitch, and then squeeze your arm together and single crochet it shut. And then go ahead and cut yourself a yarn tail and close off. So your arms are ready to go. For your ears, I'm going to take this starting yarn tail here and just go ahead and weave it into the ear to hide it. Like such. And then go ahead and snip that. Alright, and now your ears are ready to go. So your trunk, your center yarn, starting yarn tail, let's go ahead and snip that a little shorter and stuff it in there. And go ahead and get yourself some yarn and go ahead and jam that up into the trunk here. Make sure when you stuff it, you're giving your trunk its shape as well. Okay, so once you have that stuffed, go ahead and set that aside too. Okay, so for assembling this, we're going to put the arms on first. And so when you hold it up, I like to put the arms so that they're resting where the blanket naturally pops up like this. So that way the arms kind of pop up with it. So go ahead and get one of your arms and line it up right there, and go ahead and stick it in to start it. Okay. And get a hold up under the blanket so that you're not going into both sides of the blanket here. And you're just weaving from the bottom view. It's right here where the head starts turning into the blanket. and you're just going to go up through that and into the arm, and you'll just keep doing that until it's attached to your satisfaction. It's hard to show both views. You just kind of have to feel from the bottom and make sure you're going in the right area. Okay, so once it's attached and you're satisfied, you can flip it up underneath and you can just knot it off on one of the strands from the back. And then you can take it and go through the head and just pop out somewhere on the head and snip it. This yarn tail underneath, this is part of the blanket here. And go ahead and take that to the back. And as a precaution, you can go ahead and knot this off too before taking it in through the body as well, the head. And then you can snip that to get rid of that. Okay, so back to the other arm. So you just want to make sure you put the other arm even with the other arm you already put on, so it looks nice and natural. So you can go ahead and measure it up first, and then where you want to start, just pop it in. So go ahead and pop it in and then you can line it up to see where the other stitch needs to go through, which I happen to go through the right hole to begin with, so that's good. And you can check and make sure you're happy with how your arms are looking, which I want to bring mine a little bit closer because I want it to be a little bit closer to the front. I'd like mine to be like that. So I'm going to go in right here. And pop up out there. Let's see what this looks like. And I'm much more satisfied with that. Okay, so I'll go ahead and resume attaching this arm. And you're going to do the same thing, just keep your hand underneath to make sure that you're not going through part of the head or catching part of the blanket when you're sewing this arm on here. Okay, so once you're satisfied with how your arm's attached, go ahead and flip it over. As you see, you shouldn't see any strands anywhere, so you just want to make sure you're not catching the blanket or anything. But go ahead and knot off on a nearby stitch. And then go ahead and take that into the head and snip. So now we have our arms attached. So now we're going to go ahead and attach our trunk. So for your trunk, if you want, you can pin it in place. I'm just going to freehand mine, but just make sure that it's even with your arms. So once you are satisfied with the placement, I'm placing mine about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 rows down. Since I'm freehanding mine, I'm just I'm going over to make sure I secure the trunk on both sides where I want it. And I'm even going to do it at the bottom and at the top, and then I'll go back and secure it all the way around. But I just want to make sure that in the process of securing this, I don't put it on crooked. Because I want it to stay as close to in between the arms as I can. And that is George. I think this is his first video appearance. But now just go ahead and secure the trunk all the way around. Okay. Okay, so once your trunk is secure all the way around, you can go ahead and knot off on a nearby stitch. And you can take that yarn tail through the head. So as I'm sewing this on, I came to notice that I may have stuffed this trunk a little bit much compared to the first one I did. It's not a big deal, but pretty much the same here. Just a little overstuffed makes the holes a little bit bigger. Alright, so let's go ahead and attach these ears. Okay, so for the ears, you're going to be attaching the side that we slip stitched. So just kind of get a place where you like them, and they're even with the arms. So about right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So about 7 stitches down, I'm going to go in. Now I'm going to freehand mine again, but you can pin yours into place if you want to. So I want to try to stay as even as possible. Like this. So just go ahead through the slip stitches that you made to attach this. So we have one ear attached. So once you have your ear attached and you're satisfied with it, just go ahead and knot off on a nearby stitch. And take the yarn tail up and through the back of the head and snip it. So there is one of your ears attached. So we'll go ahead and attach the other ear. So I know I attached it 7 rows down. Double check this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know it'll be somewhere in this row, but I need to measure it up with the other ear and the arms and make sure it looks good. And actually, since this is the opposite side, you're going to be starting at the bottom on this one, but you can see about where you need it on the top and make it even with your other arm. So about right here is good. Seeing it's about right there. Looks about right. And then I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Try to go straight up from there best I can. And then I'll double check this, see if this placement's good. It's looking a little farther back than I want it. So we'll try here. So just be patient, take your time measuring, and if you find it easier to use pins, you can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sometimes I find the pins just kind of get in my way more than they help me. Okay, all right, I like that. So now I'm just going to go ahead and attach my ear. Okay. Once you're satisfied with how it's attached, you can just go ahead and knot it off somewhere behind the ear. And then take that yarn tail through the back of the head. Alright, let's see what we got so far. Alright, so now we need to go ahead and put some eyes on it. So, this elephant that I just made ended up being a little different than the first one I made, in that this one is on the corner and this one, it's a square. So it's okay however yours turned out, as long as you are happy with it, because I'm happy with both of mine. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the eyes on our elephant. So switch to a smaller yarn needle and get your black crochet thread and cut yourself a long piece of it. And go ahead and put it on your yarn needle. And even it out there, and then take your elephant and see where you want your eyes. On my other one I did it 9 rows down. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that probably would look good right there. So what you're going to do is, And you don't have to do this, put the eyes exactly where I put mine. If you think they're cuter somewhere else, feel free to do that. You can just do it in the same way that I'm doing this here. So pop through and go to where you want your eye to be. And pull it till it's almost through and just leave this yarn tail here. Now go ahead and go above where that stitch is. And then just work that eye in there. And if you don't like it, you're not satisfied, you can easily just pull these out and go ahead and do somewhere else. Just go ahead and do a couple laps there. And then take it back in and go over, try to make it as even with the other one as possible. And you're just going to do the same thing. And just wrap it around that one row. And just do that until you're satisfied and you think they're even. And then just go ahead and take this back to your starting yarn. Like that. And then go ahead and tie this together. And then you're going to take this yarn needle get all these strands on here. There we go. And just take it through, and you can take it through the back of the head here. And just do it lightly so that you're not pulling on the eyes. And then just go ahead and snip. And there is the elephant. So now, the only thing left to do is just weave in your yarn tails. So just go back to your bigger yarn needle. And weave in your yarn tails into your work. So that way it's hidden. And I have 2 extras because I ran out of yarn. You won't have these 2 here unless you ran out of yarn too. And it's all done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it was easy and fun, and thank you for watching, and please subscribe, please like this video, and keep an eye out because I'll be coming up with more designs. Thank you.